Every single day, without your permission, without your knowledge, and without any way to stop it, your brain is actively deleting your memories, not corrupting them, not misplacing them, deleting them on purpose. Scientists estimate that the average human brain discards roughly 70% of everything you experience within the first 24 hours of living it. 70%. Gone forever. And the terrifying part? Your brain thinks that's a good idea. Welcome back to Mind Atlas, where we go to the places your mind doesn't want you to explore. Let's start with something that should unsettle you deeply. You do not have a single memory that is real. Not one. Every time you remember something, your brain is not playing back a recording like a video file. It is rebuilding that memory from scratch, piece by piece, pulling fragments from different regions of your brain and assembling them in real time. And every single time you do that, every time you revisit a memory, your brain subtly rewrites it, changes details, shifts emotions, replaces faces. Scientists call this process reconsolidation, and what it means is that the more you cherish a memory, the more often you return to it, the more distorted and inaccurate it becomes. The memories you hold most dear are the ones your brain has had the most opportunity to corrupt. Now here is where it gets genuinely dark. Your brain doesn't just passively forget things. It actively works to suppress certain memories. There is a mechanism in the human brain called active forgetting, driven by neurons that quite literally silence other neurons to prevent specific information from surfacing. Researchers at the University of Cambridge found that certain brain cells function almost like suppressors, hunting down memories and pushing them down below your conscious awareness. So when you can't remember something traumatic, something painful, something your mind doesn't want to revisit, it's not that the memory disappeared. It's still there, locked away, hidden behind a biological wall your own brain constructed to keep you away from it. And that wall can crack. That is where it gets truly disturbing. Under certain conditions, under extreme stress, during specific types of therapy, or sometimes completely without warning, those suppressed memories can surface with violent clarity. People have reported remembering events they had no conscious memory of for decades. The brain buried them, but it never destroyed them. It kept them perfectly preserved in the dark, waiting. Think about what that means for who you are. Your sense of identity, your personality, your fears, your preferences, everything you consider to be you is built on a foundation of experiences that your brain has been secretly editing without your consent for your entire life. The version of yourself you present to the world, the version you believe in, is constructed from a collection of half-remembered, partially fabricated, emotionally manipulated echoes of things that may not have happened exactly the way you think they did. There is a condition that illustrates this horror more clearly than almost anything else in neuroscience. It is called confabulation, and it occurs when the brain fills in gaps in memory not with confusion or uncertainty, but with complete and utter confidence. People who confabulate don't lie. They don't know they're doing it. Their brain simply invents memories, constructs entirely fictional events, and presents them as real lived experiences, and the person believes every word of it with total sincerity. The terrifying implication is not just that this happens to people with brain damage or certain neurological conditions. Mild versions of confabulation happen in every healthy human brain, every single day. When you can't quite remember how something happened, your brain doesn't leave a blank. It fills it in, quietly, convincingly, and then it tells you it was always there. Let's talk about something called the Mandela Effect, because it connects to all of this in a way that most people haven't fully considered. Millions of people across the world share the same false memories. Not similar memories. The same ones. Large groups of people remember the Monopoly man wearing a monocle. He never did. Massive numbers of people remember the line from Star Wars as, "Luke, I am your father." The actual line is, "No, I am your father." People remember Coca-Cola's logo with a hyphen that was never there. These aren't coincidences. These are examples of how human memory doesn't just fail individually. It fails collectively. Because we all share the same cognitive architecture, we all make the same kinds of mistakes, and we all fill in gaps with the same culturally informed guesses. What feels like a shared memory of a real event is actually a shared malfunction of the human brain on a global scale. Now consider this. If millions of people can share false memories of things that never happened, how confident can you really be in anything your memory tells you? How certain can you be about what you saw, what was said to you, what you experienced? The answer that neuroscience keeps arriving at is uncomfortable. You cannot be very certain at all. Sleep makes this worse in ways that feel almost designed to frighten you. When you sleep, your brain does two contradictory things simultaneously. It consolidates certain memories, strengthening them and moving them into long-term storage, while at the same time it actively purges others, running a kind of biological garbage collection that strips away experiences your brain deems unnecessary. The criteria for what gets kept and what gets deleted are not entirely within your control. They are influenced by emotion, by repetition, by stress hormones, by the arbitrary order in which you encountered things. Something that happened to you today that felt completely unremarkable will almost certainly be gone by tomorrow, and you will have no awareness that you ever lost it. You will never know what you've forgotten. That's the most unsettling part. The gaps don't feel like gaps. They feel like nothing. There is research suggesting that false memories can be deliberately implanted. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus conducted some of the most disturbing studies in cognitive science, demonstrating that with careful suggestion and mild social pressure, researchers could convince a significant percentage of participants that they had experienced events from their childhood that had never happened. Lost in a shopping mall as a child, witnessing something violent, interacting with cartoon characters at theme parks. People didn't just say they remembered these things, they elaborated on them, added sensory details, expressed emotion. The memories felt completely real because to the brain, a convincing false memory and a real one are neurologically indistinguishable. Think about every court case decided on eyewitness testimony. Think about every argument you've had where you were absolutely certain about what was said. Think about every version of your own past that you've told yourself. All of it is running on a system that science has shown, repeatedly and without ambiguity, to be deeply, fundamentally, frighteningly unreliable. And yet your brain does not feel unreliable. That is the final layer of this particular darkness. The human brain comes equipped with an almost unshakable sense of confidence in its own memories. Even when presented with contradicting evidence, even when shown proof that a memory is wrong, the brain resists. It argues. It reinterprets the evidence to protect the false memory. Your brain is not built to tell you the truth. It is built to tell you a coherent story, and it will sacrifice accuracy for coherence every single time. You are not remembering your life. You are reading a novel your brain wrote about your life, edited continuously, with chapters removed, scenes rewritten, and characters changed to fit the narrative your mind decided to tell. The person you think you are is the protagonist of a story that has been quietly, systematically, and masterfully altered since the moment you were born. That thought should follow you. It should sit in the back of your mind every time you feel certain about something. Every time you say, "I remember exactly what happened." Every time you trust your own story over someone else's. The science says your certainty is the most dangerous part. If you want to keep exploring the parts of human existence that most people prefer to look away from, subscribe to Mind Atlas right now. Hit the bell. because we're just getting started, and where we're going next will make this feel like a warm-up. The mind is darker than you think. We're going to map every corner of it.